Here's something most Americans don't realize. That stubborn belly fat you've been fighting isn't just about appearance. It's quietly suffocating your internal organs. Scientists call it visceral fat, and it's wrapping itself around your liver, kidneys, pancreas, and intestines right now. This isn't vanity weight. The CDC links excessive visceral fat directly to type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, fatty liver, and hypertension. But here's the breakthrough. You don't need expensive supplements, extreme diets, or brutal workout regimens. Modern research combined with time-tested metabolic principles reveals 6 evidence-based strategies that specifically target belly fat. Implement these correctly and you'll notice measurable changes within weeks. Let's break down exactly what science says works and why most approaches fail. Welcome to Health Morph, where we translate cutting-edge health science into practical actions that transform your body and extend your lifespan. Today, we're tackling one of America's most pressing health epidemics, abdominal obesity. Over 42% of U.S. adults are clinically obese, with belly fat being the most dangerous form. This isn't about fitting into smaller jeans. This is about preventing metabolic syndrome, reversing insulin resistance, and protecting your cardiovascular system from chronic inflammation. The transformation you're seeking requires understanding why fat accumulates around your midsection and how to create metabolic conditions that force your body to mobilize these stubborn fat stores. We're going beyond surface-level tips. This framework is built on peer-reviewed metabolic research, endocrinology principles, and biochemistry, simplified into actionable steps you can implement today. No gimmicks, no shortcuts, just science-backed strategies that work. Disclaimer: this content is for educational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical advice. Consult a healthcare provider before making changes to your diet, exercise, or lifestyle. Understanding visceral fat, the hidden danger. Visceral fat differs fundamentally from subcutaneous fat, the pinchable layer under your skin. While subcutaneous fat is relatively inert, visceral fat is metabolically active, meaning it releases inflammatory cytokines, disrupts hormone signaling, and interferes with insulin sensitivity. Research published in the Journal of Clinical Investigation demonstrates that visceral adiposity directly correlates with elevated C-reactive protein levels, a primary marker of systemic inflammation. When fat infiltrates your liver, you develop non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, NAFLD, now affecting nearly 25% of Americans. When it surrounds your pancreas, insulin production becomes dysregulated. This creates a vicious cycle: poor insulin response to elevated blood glucose, to more fat storage, to worsening insulin resistance. Strategy number 1: strategic hydration for metabolic activation. Most Americans are chronically underhydrated, which significantly impairs lipolysis, the breakdown of fat molecules. A study in Frontiers in Nutrition found that increased water intake enhances thermogenesis, calorie burning, by up to 30% within 10 minutes of consumption. The protocol: start every morning with 16 to 20 ounces of room temperature or warm water before anything else. This activates your gastrointestinal tract, stimulates bowel motility, and primes your metabolism. Throughout the day, drink water strategically between meals, especially when hunger signals emerge. Often, what we interpret as hunger is actually dehydration. This simple intervention prevents unnecessary caloric intake while maintaining optimal cellular hydration for fat oxidation. Strategy number 2: eliminate refined sugars to control insulin. Refined sugar consumption is the single greatest driver of visceral fat accumulation in Western diets. When you consume high glycemic foods, pastries, candy, sweetened beverages, blood glucose spikes rapidly. Your pancreas responds by flooding your bloodstream with insulin, the primary fat storage hormone. What to avoid? Commercial baked goods, sweetened beverages, processed desserts, and anything containing high fructose corn syrup. Fructose metabolism occurs exclusively in your liver, making it particularly lipogenic, fat-forming. Strategy number 3: prioritize protein for satiety and thermogenesis. Protein is your most powerful macronutrient for fat loss. It has the highest thermic effect of food, TEF, meaning your body burns 20 to 30% of protein calories just digesting it, compared to only 5 to 10% for carbohydrates and 0 to 3% for fats. Best sources for Americans: Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, eggs, legumes like lentils, chickpeas, and black beans, nuts, seeds, tofu, and lean poultry. Plant-based proteins offer additional benefits, fiber content, and phytonutrients that further support metabolic health. Implementation: ensure every meal contains 20 to 30 grams of protein. This stabilizes blood sugar, prevents energy crashes, and eliminates cravings that lead to poor food choices. Strategy number 4. Replace bad fats with metabolically active fats. The type of fat you consume dramatically impacts body composition. Trans fats and repeatedly heated vegetable oils, common in restaurant deep fryers, promote inflammation and preferentially deposit as visceral fat. A Wake Forest University study found that trans fat consumption increases abdominal fat by 30% compared to equivalent calories from other sources. The switch? Replace inflammatory fats with anti-inflammatory options. Extra virgin olive oil, rich in oleic acid and polyphenols. Avocados, monounsaturated fats that improve insulin sensitivity. Nuts and seeds, almonds, walnuts, chia seeds, providing omega-3 fatty acids. Small amounts of grass-fed ghee contains conjugated linoleic acid, which may reduce body fat. These fats slow gastric emptying, reduce post-meal glucose spikes, and provide essential nutrients for hormone production, including hormones that regulate fat metabolism. Strategy number 5. Embrace whole foods to optimize fiber intake. Fiber is the missing nutrient in most American diets. The average US adult consumes only 15 grams daily, half the recommended amount. Soluble fiber forms a gel in your digestive tract, slowing nutrient absorption and preventing insulin spikes. It also feeds beneficial gut bacteria, which produce short-chain fatty acids that reduce inflammation and improve metabolic health. Actionable choices: replace refined grains with intact whole grains, quinoa, steel-cut oats, brown rice, farro. Choose whole fruits over juice. Load half your plate with fibrous vegetables. This creates lasting satiety while providing micronutrients essential for cellular energy production. Strategy number 6. Implement time-restricted eating. This is perhaps the most powerful metabolic intervention. Don't eat after 7 p.m. As evening approaches, your body's metabolic rate naturally declines. Circadian biology research shows that insulin sensitivity decreases throughout the day, reaching its lowest point at night. When you eat late, your body is poorly equipped to process nutrients, leading to greater fat storage. Additionally, late-night eating disrupts sleep quality, which further impairs glucose metabolism and increases cortisol, a stress hormone that promotes belly fat. The framework: finish your last meal by 7 p.m. Allow a minimum 12-hour fasting window, ideally 14 to 16 hours. During this period, your body depletes glycogen stores and shifts into fat-burning mode, beta oxidation. This isn't a fad, it's how human metabolism evolved to function. Intermittent fasting has been shown in numerous studies to reduce visceral fat, improve insulin sensitivity, and trigger cellular repair processes called autophagy. Your 7-day belly fat reset protocol. Morning, 6 to 8 a.m. Drink 16 to 20 ounces warm water immediately upon waking. Wait 2 minutes, then eat a protein-rich breakfast, 30 grams protein minimum. Mid-morning and afternoon, drink water whenever hunger signals appear. Ensure each meal contains protein plus fiber plus healthy fats. Lunch, 12 to 1 p.m. Build plate, 50% vegetables, 25% protein, 25% whole grains. Dinner, 5 to 6 p.m. Keep light but satisfying. Finish eating by 7 p.m. maximum. Evening, no food after 7 p.m. Herbal tea or water only. Aim for 12 to 16-hour overnight fast. Foods to eliminate: fried foods, refined sugars, white bread, pastries, processed snacks, sweetened beverages. Foods to emphasize: vegetables, legumes, whole grains, nuts, seeds, Greek yogurt, eggs, lean proteins. FAQ section: how quickly can I lose belly fat safely? Safe, sustainable visceral fat loss occurs at 1 to 2 pounds weekly. Rapid weight loss often indicates muscle and water loss, not fat. Consistent application of metabolic strategies produces noticeable abdominal reduction within 2 to 3 weeks, with significant changes by 8 to 12 weeks. Why does belly fat accumulate more than other areas? Visceral fat accumulation results from elevated insulin levels, chronic stress, cortisol, poor sleep, and inflammatory diets. Abdominal adipocytes, or fat cells, have more cortisol receptors, making this area particularly responsive to stress hormones. Can I target belly fat with specific exercises? Spot reduction is physiologically impossible. While core exercises strengthen abdominal muscles, fat loss occurs systemically based on metabolic conditions. Create a caloric deficit through nutrition, and your body will gradually mobilize visceral fat stores. Do I need supplements to lose belly fat? No. While certain supplements may offer marginal benefits, whole food nutrition provides everything necessary for fat metabolism. Save your money, invest in quality protein sources and vegetables instead. How important is sleep for belly fat reduction? Critical. Poor sleep, under 7 hours nightly, disrupts leptin and ghrelin, hormones regulating hunger and satiety. Sleep deprivation also impairs insulin sensitivity and increases cortisol, both promoting visceral fat storage. Can stress cause belly fat even with healthy eating? Yes. Chronic stress elevates cortisol, which directly promotes abdominal fat deposition while increasing cravings for high-calorie comfort foods. Stress management, meditation, deep breathing, adequate sleep is essential for metabolic optimization. Visceral belly fat isn't a cosmetic issue, it's a metabolic emergency that deserves your immediate attention. But here's the empowering truth. Your body wants to release this fat. You just need to create the right internal environment. Every strategy we've covered, hydration, sugar elimination, protein prioritization, healthy fats, whole foods, and time-restricted eating, works synergistically to restore insulin sensitivity, reduce inflammation, and activate fat-burning pathways. This isn't about perfection, it's about consistency. Small daily decisions compound into profound transformations. Your liver will function better, your energy will stabilize, your disease risk will plummet, and yes, your waistline will shrink. On Health Morph, we believe in sustainable health transformations built on scientific truth, not marketing hype. Take ownership of your metabolic health today. Your future self will thank you. Start with one strategy tonight. Finish eating by 7 p.m. That single decision begins your transformation.